Good morning. Welcome and welcome back to the channel. My name is PK. This is Bookie Monsters, and the morning shows Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We look at the new releases that are being set into the wild this week. And each day of the week, we look at a different genre. Today is Thursday, December 14th, almost halfway through the month. And on Thursdays, we look at fantasy and science fiction. Um, there are not a whole lot of books being released this week in some genres because we're getting close to the holidays. Good morning, Mary. Happy Thursday. Another sunshiny day here in Virginia. Oh, that is good. Sunshine to warm up the heart. All right. Let's just go and get rid of this banner. Anything going on today? Let's see. Announcements. We've got sprints tonight at 6:05 Mountain Time, 8:05 Eastern. They will go for 2.5 hours. Isn't that pretty? Makes you just want to sit down and grab a roll and look out that window and not have to go to work. All right. Well, let's hop into this. Like I say, there's not a whole lot out there. I did some pre-setting up. We've got about 6 to look at, but we can always look at Cozy Mysteries also. Now, this is a name. This is a big name in sci-fi fantasy world. Adrian Tchaikovsky. This is second in the Tyrant Philosopher series called House of Open Wounds, which does not sound like a place I want to go to. City by city, kingdom by kingdom, the Palicine have sworn to bring perfection and correctness to an imperfect world. As their legions scour the world of superstition with the bright flame of reason, so they deliver a mountain of ragged hold and scorched flesh to the field hospital tents just behind the front line, which is where Yasnik, one-time priest, healer, and rebel, finds himself. Reprieved from the gallows and sent to war clutching a box of orphan gods, he has been sequestered to a particularly unorthodox medical unit, led by the butcher, an ogre of a man who's a dab hand with a bone saw and an alchemical tincture. The unit's motley crew of conscripts, healers, and orderlies are no strangers to the horrors of war. Theirs is an unspeakable trade, elbow deep in gore that have a first-hand view of the suffering caused by flesh-rending monsters, arcane magical weaponry, and embittered enemy soldiers. Entrusted for now with saving lives deemed otherwise unsavable, the field hospital crew faces a precarious existence. Their work with unapproved magic, necromancy, demonology, and Yasnik's thoroughly illicit gods could lead to the unit being disbanded, arrested, or worse. Beset by enemies within and without, the last thing anyone needs is a miracle. Dot, 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 dot. And it's how many pages of it? 633 pages of it. I kind of compare that, you don't really see this side of the great battles. I compare it to, like, somebody mentioned the Marvel movies should have had a spin-off series with the insurance claims. A poor, beleaguered insurance company dealing with all the damage that the Avengers made and so forth. I'm going to close a couple tabs here. Oh, I know. The Dragons of Deepwood Fen, first in the Book of the Holt by Bradley P. Ballou. 498 pages. Follows an unlikely pair as they expose the secrets at the heart of the mountain city of Ancris. Lorelei Aurelius is the smartest inquisitor in the mountain city of Ancris. When a mysterious tip leads her to a clandestine meeting between the church and the hated Red Knives, she uncovers a plot that threatens not only her home but the empire itself. The trail leads her to Rylan Holbrook, a notorious thief posing as a dragon singer. Rylan came to Ancrus to solve the very same mystery she stumbled onto. Knowing his incarceration could lead to the Red Knives achieving their goals, Lorelei makes a fateful decision. She frees him. Now branded as traitors, the two flee the city on Dragonback. In the massive forest known as the Holt, they discover something terrible. The Red Knives are planning to awaken a powerful demigod in the holiest shrine in Ancrus, and for some reason the church is willing to allow it. It forces their return to Ancrus, where the unlikely allies must rally the very people who vowed to capture them before it's too late. That's a pretty cover. I like fantasy, but I'm not really a huge fan of dragon stories. I know. Ares by L. Neil Smith. As humanity explores space, political strife rips apart nations and increases social divides. U.S. President Horton Willoughby III governs only Eastern America and is seen as a political farce. Industrialist Richfield Chan sees opportunity in the fractured government and plans to seize power. Chan rallies allies. There's an example in English of how similarly spelled words are pronounced differently. To send a seventh colony ship to Mars, hoping to undermine the current president. The new family, responsible for terraforming and mining on Pallas, realize that any rescue mission from Earth will arrive too late. Four siblings launch a rescue mission from Pallas to save the alien colonists with their expertise and better chosen implements. The new siblings know their mission is one way and must teach the colonists to survive on the inhospitable planet or find a way to endure until another rescue ship arrives. The little people refuse to be subject to incompetent governments any longer and must make their own stand. How many pages? It's a short one. It's under 300. That's a lot of story for under 300 pages. If these books are just being published, how do they have review star ratings both here and on Goodreads? Do they get advanced copies? Several people do. Yep. Not only physical advanced copies, but there is a website called netgalley.com that people can request to be to receive an advanced reading copy. I usually get turned down, and I usually don't have. When I do get them, I don't read them. Therefore, they don't give me them anymore. I'm just not a reviewer. I just want to read it. Who cares what I think about it? Jaguar Prophecies by Jeff Wheeler. The fate of the world is in the hands of two men. One is prophesied to end it. The other must save it in an apocalyptic thriller. If the end of the world prophecy is true, a vengeful descendant will reign with blood and fury. The planets are already aligning. For Jonathan Roth and his family, vacation in Cozumel becomes a nightmare. Ours was kind of too. Pawns in a deadly rival, Roth and his children barely escaped their lives, and with the secrets of mastermind Jacob Kalakmal's endgame to fulfill the Jaguar prophecies, the foretelling of an inevitable Armageddon, one that will destroy entire nations. The key to stopping it is to retrieve an ancient codex, if Roth can decipher it. From a museum in Dresden, where the mysterious codex is on display to the Roth's Montana home in the dead of winter, depends on where you're going. No place is safe from Kalakmal's reach. Obsessed with the legends of the magic of the Maya, Roth knows Kalakmal's powers are real. Roth's own daughter possesses them too. As Kalakmal and his henchmen close in, Roth and his children are running for their lives. In a prepper's lair in the Montana mountains, Roth must piece together a terrifying puzzle to stop an apocalyptic vision from coming true. If it's not only too late, because it is not too late, period. Because the countdown to the end time has already begun. And he does all this in only 312 pages. Very succinct. Chains of the Earth, third in the Ascension Cycle series by David Mealing. The epic story of a young street artist, a military general, and a warrior fighting for the fate of the universe comes to its thrilling conclusion. The divide separating the East from the West, the realms of death from the realms of life, has fallen. Serene and her champions find themselves overwhelmed, assaulted on every side by swordsmen, assassins, and skin changers, infiltrating, killing, and twisting even their most loyal allies against them. Every victory hides a defeat, yet there is still hope. If Serene can learn whoa, learn the true nature of her powers, she can make a final stand against the Regnant to challenge him and remove his death grip on the world's heart. To find the truth, she must journey to a new continent and find new allies, rallying their strength and wielding every strain of magic in the world in a final battle between life and death. Dun, 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 dun. Let's take a look at this one. This was one that was coming out this week. This one is being tagged as an historical, but I like history, like historicals. Following Caesar from Rome to Constantinople, the pathways that planted the seeds of empire by John Key. A travel narrative following three ancient roads and looking at more than 2,000 years of history of ancient Rome through the modern eye. In 66 BC, young ambitious Julius Caesar, seeking recognition and authority, became the curator of the Appia, a road stretching from Rome to Brindisi. To gain popularity with Roman citizens along the way, he borrowed significant sums to restore the ancient highway. He eventually achieved greatness in Rome and the far reaches of Gaul, leading armies along the Via Appia and its sister road, the Via Egnatia, across the Balkans to battle enemies in Roman civil wars. Other armies followed these two roads that eventually connected Rome to Constantinople, today's Istanbul. Both Octavian and later his friend turned enemy Mark Antony traveled portions of these roads to defeat Caesar's murderers, Brutus and Cassius. The great Roman statesman Cicero, the Roman poet Homer, the historian Virgil, and many other notables also journeyed on them. In the early 2nd century AD, the Emperor Trajan charted a new, faster coastal route between Benevento and Brindisi, later called the Via Triana. Today, the remains of these roads are preserved as archaeological wonders and can be seen through the countryside near and sometimes under modern highways in the ruins of ancient Roman cities. Some of the earliest villages have disappeared, while others have grown into modern towns with the ancient roads hidden beneath latter-day pavements. In this sojourn across Roman history, John Key delves into encounters with diverse peoples in these towns in Italy, North Macedonia, Greece, and Turkey who warmly embraced travelers following in the footsteps of their ancestors. They shared knowledge of the historical sites, meals, and a wealth of local lore. Very cool. I love stuff like that. I love that you can go to England and just be in a field and find Roman coins. I mean, ugh, blows my mind. All right. So that was it for fantasy sci-fi this week. Not a whole lot. So let's keep looking at cozy mysteries. The Trouble with Falling in Love with a Retired Spy, books 7 through 9 by Tia Brown. Slide down here. So, follow not as intrepid as she'd like to be, amateur sleuth Amy Hammond and her enigmatic partner Peter Cunningham through these three adventures as she finds out more about the man she's coming to love and his past. They take her to beautiful rural Monmouthshire, to a stately home at Christmas, and to a fun day at the English stately home where she with potentially poisoned fudge. Okay. Can crafter Amy use her much underestimated skills of kindness and common sense? Is kindness a skill? To keep out of trouble? Of course not. Can she manage a happy ending? That all depends on what happy is. Is she enjoying herself? Worryingly, yes. Yeah, that one I'm keeping that tab open because that sounds good. Sorry, copy was acquired. How many pages was it? Only 245 pages? When we want them to belong, they're not. Bah humbug on those authors. Dying to be heard. Historical mystery set in the lead up to World War One. This is a Dr. Demarais series by Paula Harmon, fourth in that series. Double check the date. Yep, we're good. Would you betray a friend to save a country? Would you betray a country to avenge a friend? London, May 1913. Angry about the treatment of suffragettes and a supporter's murder, Dr. Margaret Demarais' friend Maud urges their suffrage group towards violent militancy. But Margaret is conflicted when a parcel bomb brings casualties to her hospital. And what is the risk to a fragile peace treaty which is about to be signed, and to Fox, who's tracking down stolen diplomatic documents? Fox thinks someone is hiding behind suffrage militancy to detract from his search. Margaret thinks the murders and the missing documents are intrinsically linked, and Maud might be the next victim. If she's wrong, then one of her fellow suffragettes is a murderer. If she's right, then someone else is trying to find the documents and is prepared to kill to get them. That sounds kind of interesting. You know I love historical mysteries. I've not read that series, so I'll have to check out the first one. Rocking chairs and rituals, and that's kind of a cute cover. I'm not a huge fan of cute covers, but that's a cute cover. Kindle Unlimited, 187 pages. This is third in the Detective Grandma series by Corinne Winters. Just double checking the release date. We're good. From grand opening to grand mystery, this isn't your average bookstore. When Dorothy and Frank turn the page to start a new chapter with a quaint bookshop/cafe, they didn't expect their first signing to be a literal death sentence. There's nothing like a dead author to put a damper on sales. Actually, that's probably quite the opposite. People love to flock to things like that. Who knew the pen could be mightier than the piece in Oakwood? With the help of Dorothy's granddaughter Zoe and familiar Buttons, they swap their aprons for detective hats. But can these amateur sleuths bookmark the guilty party before their dream business becomes a crime scene? Or will their investigation turn their cozy bookshop into a hardcover horror story? Well, I'm sorry, you get a demerit. Bookmark is not a verb. But it's cute. Dem bones, dem bones. Fifth in the Spellbound Hound Magic and Mystery series by Jeannie Wickerly. Toby, a Schnauzer Collie Whippet Terrier thingy, is is not averse to gnawing on a chunky bone, but even he draws a line when it's a knee bone connected to the thigh bone of a zombie. When a zombie infection begins to spread around town, anyone with half a brain would stay indoors, right? But Toby, a dog with a brain the size of a small planet, has been summoned to assist a Yorkshire. This is okay. The dog solves it. A Yorkshire Terrier friend whose owner appears to be the source of the outbreak. Toby can't turn his back on an old mate, even if that means putting his own favorite human at risk of infection. Toby and Clarissa have their work cut out if they want to prevent the multiplication of zombies while simultaneously nipping a sudden stench of corruption in the bud. I don't do talking animals, but it's cute. And these will be coming out tomorrow. Brookhaven Paranormal Mysteries, Volume 1 by S.E. Biglow, fourth of the box sets. Starting over can be murder. Darcy Ingram came to the small town of Brookhaven for a fresh start and a safe place to hone her hedge witch powers. She even landed a job at the local marijuana dispensary. But before long, a series of supernatural mysteries ensnares her. From murdered co-workers to infidelity and supernatural vendettas, Darcy faces an uphill battle against a police chief who doesn't trust her and townspeople who don't know her yet. Aided by the snarky ghost who haunts the B&B where she lives and a telepathic chameleon, why does it sound familiar? Along with some trusted living allies, she might just be able to unravel these mysteries and get her blossoming magic under control. Latte Show by Miranda Craig. This is fifth in the Cream and Sugar Cozy Mysteries. This comes out next week. Hopefully it'll show up for next week. Orca's Afterlife by Laura Gale. That comes out in January. Murder in the Hot Air Balloon. Came out in November. Well, we're running out of time, so let's just look at covers and titles. To heck with when they're being released. The Secrets in the Scones by Leslie Landtrip. Death So Pretty, Mrs. Mortimer, number 5 by Elizabeth Oakey. The Jig Is Up, number 14 in the Painted Lady Inn series by M.K. Scott. Paint Can Kill, Kira Mia Delgado, number 9 by Joanna Campbell Slan. That's a big name in cozies. Murder in New Orleans by Anne Sutton. This is 11th in the Dodo Dorchester series. And Cursed Christmas, 4th in the Mia Watson cruise ship series by Gwen Taylor and Jen Booker. That is a very pretty cover. And it says Page Not Found. And these are coming out on Saturday. Death Paints a Picture by Tess Batry, Penelope Standing, number 5. Down Dog by Lucy Emblem. This is 3rd in the Tamsin Kernick series. Dirt and Deceit by Diane Harmon, Clean Sweep, number 4. And Perfect Prince. How about that for timing? Number 74 by Nick Saint. Okay, I'm sorry, we got to look at that. Number 74. 309 pages. Holy moly. It is Kindle Unlimited. 74 of 79. You can get them all for $247. Wow. I'm impressed. Not even J.D. Robb. And these are all good sized. When did they first come out? 2017. Wow. Somebody needs. Wow. I'm just shocked. Can you tell? I'm shocked. All right. Well, we are out of time. Once again, thank you so much for watching. I know, 74 in a series. I'm going to have to check that out. Nick Saint, yeah. All right. Well, sprints tonight at 6:05 Mountain Time, 8:05 Eastern. It'll go for 2.5 hours. Bring your own book, work on a project, or just close your eyes and relax from whatever happens today. We are in the start of Mercury retrograde until January 1st, so buckle up, and it's okay to come and relax. I hope you have a very good Thursday. Let me know what you're reading. I'll let you know what I'm reading. I just finished my historical mystery, The Mysterious Lover. I gave it 3.5 stars. I wish Goodreads would let us do halves, but it was enjoyable. I'd probably read the next one. I'm just not rushing out. So, thank you. Thank you so much. If you're watching this later, I hope your day is going well, and thank you for watching it later. Thank you, Mary, for keeping me company, and whoever else popped in and was just struggling to be awake. It's okay. Oh, and as the banner says here, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Nom nom. Thank you. God bless.